Hey everybody, it's your girl Nell. Welcome to Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. How are you doing today? Please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so. Hit that subscribe button, the notifications button, so that you'll know whenever I pop into the Tiny Studio. That will be my way of inviting you to join me. And then when you watch the video or after you concluded watching this video, don't forget to hit the like button. That lets the YouTube algorithm know that there are people who are Tiny Studio guests. Thank you so much for hanging out. Today I'm in the Tiny Studio and I am getting ready to start a calendar blanket. Now you may say, what is a calendar blanket, Nell? A calendar blanket is a blanket that I'll be working on each month of this year, 12 months. I'll be working on a calendar blanket and I am getting started. I'm a little late. Now, a calendar blanket is something like a temperature blanket. The only difference is I won't be keeping track of the temperature. I'll just be going by the month. So, I believe it's 4 weeks in January. I'm not sure. I need to check that out. So the way this calendar blanket is going to work for me is that I'll be crocheting the amount of weeks in that month. Okay, so I need to get started because I'm a little late. And the reason why I'm a little late is because I've been going back and forth over how I'm going to put this calendar blanket together. What type of yarn am I going to be using? Am I going to be using yarn? Is this project going to be a yarn busting type of thing? I mean, not yarn busting, a yarn stash busting project. Will I be doing that? Or will I be, picking a special, a certain color? Will I have a certain color scheme as far as this blanket is concerned? How long or how wide do I want this calendar blanket to be? Those are the questions that I'm asking myself, and I'm going back and forth on. Right. Oh, here's another one. What type of stitch will I be using for this calendar blanket? I have not figured that out yet, and I really do not have that much time to do so. I need to hop on the bandwagon right now. So, and the reason why I picked working on a calendar blanket for as a project for this year is because I have been really behind in my crochet business and just crocheting in general. And for the past year or so, I've been dealing with the situation with my husband. If you don't know, if this is your first time joining the channel, my husband was diagnosed with breast cancer in late 2023, late 2022. So from October 2022 through today, my husband has been battling breast cancer. So I really haven't picked up my hook the way I should. I'm still working on that gray. I'm still working on my gray crochet hat, my gray Rasta hat. I'm still working on that. So I decided that I'm going to implement this calendar blanket as a way for me to really get back into self-care, really get back into relaxing, get back to me, Nell. And crocheting has always done that for me. So I was thinking about doing a yarn stash busting project, and using my yarn stash as a way to, not just eliminate the yarn that I have, the leftover yarn that I've used, but to create a calendar blanket. And while I've been going back and forth on that, like I said, I don't know if I want to use a certain stitch for this calendar blanket, if I want to have a certain type of color scheme, because I keep seeing purple, fuchsia, and white as the color scheme of the of my calendar blanket. I'm not sure, but within the next 2 hours, I need to figure it out because I need to head on to Hobby Lobby or to Joann's so I can see what they have on tap. Somebody told me that Hobby Lobby is having a 75% off sale. That's why I'm telling you that after I hop on here and talk to you, I need to be headed up to Hobby Lobby or Joanne so I can find, I can get some get up on the sales that they're having. I think I saw somewhere on YouTube that Hobby Lobby is having a 75% off sale. So I wonder if that is well, two things. I wonder if there's a 75% sale going on at my location of Hobby Lobby. And I wonder if that 75% off, if that is also for the entire store, including the yarn section. Because if that's true, then I'll just pick up all the yarn that I need for other projects and possibly some fuchsia and some beautiful purple yarn for the calendar blanket. That is my plan. So I'm not going to keep you too long because I'm going to have to get out of here. However, I'm still going back and forth. Now, I completed another project where I used up a lot of my yarn stash. So what I need to do is I need to evaluate how much yarn do I really have stashed away from previous projects that I could possibly incorporate into a calendar blanket. I'm not sure just as of yet. So I have an idea in my mind, but I need to go and check it out. So I'll be doing that as well today. And I have some yarn stashed away in my project bag, but I don't know. And you're probably saying to yourself, Nell, it says T. That's because Nell is my middle name, my family nickname. My first name is Tracy. All right. So anyhow, as I was saying, I see a ball of yarn a cake of yarn just fell out. But I think I have some yarn inside of that project bag. So I'm going to do an evaluation and see what's in there. And then I'll go to my storage area of the tiny studio and check out what's in there as well. And then make a good assessment. Then I'll know how much money I'm going to have to spend. But that still is not going to help me decide whether or not I'm going to use well, that's not going to help me decide whether or not my calendar blanket is going to be created with my yarn stash or it's going to be, other yarns. And I kind of have this picture in my mind where I'm working with purple and fuchsia and white. And so I think I'm going to follow my first mind. I think I'm going to work with purples and pinks and white. So now that I know this, I need to head to Hobby Lobby, and that's what that's what I will be looking out for. So other than that, my project bag also, as you saw, it was full because I have maybe 3 projects in it that needs to be worked on, and they are older projects. And I've put everything on hold this past year, so I'm slowly getting back to doing the things that I usually do that brings me joy, brings me peace and serenity. And I'm trying to, really get back to being me in between being in grad school for psychotherapy. So that's what's happening here in the tiny studio. But it was something else I wanted to talk to you about. What was that? Oh, for my those of you who are dreadlock lovers, Loc Nista queens, Loc kings, I talked to you about hemp oil the other day. I think did I show you? I could not remember. I know I did. I have a whole video on my hot treatment oil, and part of my hot treatment oil recipe is hemp oil. And I don't think I got a chance to share it with you. But this is what it looks like. This is the hemp oil that I use. hemp seed oil. And I really love it. I keep you can cook with this as well. You keep it refrigerated. You can cook with this as well. But I keep a lot, you know, of things separately. I keep the things I use for my hair. I keep that, you know, I have a whole another storage place that I keep those things in, and then I keep the oils that I cook with. I keep those in the pantry in the kitchen, and I love the hemp seed oil. It's really great. I keep it in my moisturizer spray bottle, and I also make I make a oil with not an oil. I make a cream oil with it, and I also, of course, use it as a hot oil treatment. So hemp oil is really, really good. I love it, and it helps my hair to flourish. That's what I have noticed. If you never used it before, try it out. See how you like it. See how you like it. I love it. And what was another thing? I cannot remember something else I wanted to hop in here to talk to you about. But I am currently on a weight loss journey. And I wanted to know how you would feel about me talking about it. Would you like for me to get into my weight loss journey here in the tiny studio? I was thinking about doing that. I don't know if you would care that much about what I'm doing in the tiny studio. If you probably haven't already noticed, that I am losing weight, and it's time. It's time. I've had a lot of challenges in my life, and I think I want to speak on it and talk to you about it, and I'll probably do so in another video. Next week, I'll probably get into talking to you about my weight loss and what I'm doing for weight loss, what type of plan am I on, and how I arrived at this place in my life as a young, mature African American woman. And I think that my story will be inspirational for you, and I think it will not only be inspirational, but if you are going through or you've been through a journey similar, a life journey similar to mine, then you will find support, because a lot of my weight has occurred for two major reasons. And the first major reason is there are a lot of things in my family, a lot of things that happened to me as a child, a young adult, that I have not yet, well, that I am beginning to process. And it's been a real journey, struggle for me. And because, you know, when it comes to weight gain, it's really not exactly what you're eating, it's what's eating you, I have found. And I know that when you start to change your mindset and you begin to heal, then a lot of things, a lot of burdens that you were carrying on the inside that expresses itself or is fully expressed on the outside, the outer you, when you really begin to deal with it, then coupled with the other mechanisms that you put in place to remove the weight, that is how you become successful. And I know that to be a fact. That is a sheer fact, because like everyone else, I have been on this weight loss journey several times. And I do believe that this is the moment. This is the moment where things have finally clicked and I get it. I get it. And the reason behind that is because I started to do the work. And when I say I started to do the work, I've acknowledged certain things. And I've made peace with that. And I know how to change my mindset, which is exactly what you have to do when you are on a weight loss journey. You have to change your perception and you have to change your mindset. And now that I know how to change my mindset, how to unlock certain things within me so that I can tap into my own personal power, now that I have fully come to understand how to do so, this part of my weight loss journey will be the last that I will embark on. Because when I complete this weight loss journey, I will be at my goal weight and I will be able to maintain it for the rest of my life. And that is what makes this journey for me such an important one, and one that I would like to share with you that can inspire you and also support you if you are on a similar journey, or if you have friends or family members who are going through a similar walk as I. Because I was a victim of SA. I've been a victim of CA. I don't know if I can say those things, but you can look it up. You'll get the idea. CA, SA. I've been in situations where I've been DV. And you're probably saying, what are these abbreviations and initials? What is she doing here? But YouTube is kind of funny about those things. So I can't really say that onto YouTube like that. But as with anyone, any woman, and especially Black women, I can say that I've been through certain situations, and because I kept those situations and that aftermath, because I kept that suppressed, or I didn't know how to deal with the trauma of them, I began to pack on the weight, along with other medical issues that I've had that have led to me using steroids, birth control medications, things like that. That helps to pound on the weight. Just pound the weight on, pile the weight on by the pound. So if you want me to discuss that with you, I can discuss it with you, my journey. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who are going through, who have a similar story. And I don't mind sharing that with you to support you here in the tiny studio. All right, like I said before, I got to get the heck up out of here, child, because if Hobby Lobby is having a 75% off sale on the entire store, I need to be over in the yarn department for real, like yesterday. And then I was thinking about heading over to Joann's and see what Joann's had. I haven't been in Joann since before the pandemic. I think the last time I was in a Joann store had to be in 2019. I think I told you about my anxiety. So I'm getting healthier, mentally. So I'm ready to go to a Joann. And the only reason why I ventured over to Hobby Lobby is because at the time, before my husband became ill, there were projects that I needed to complete for customers, and I didn't have any choice but to go into a Joann, okay? And I'm going to tell you this story. I went into a Joann Fabric right around, I'm going to say 2021, I think. And I had my mask on and everything. And right then, our governor, Ron DeSantis, had lifted the restrictions on wearing masks, where businesses could not tell you that they could suggest that you wear a mask, but they couldn't tell you that they couldn't say you must wear a mask. So I went into the Hobby Lobby, and of course everybody still had on a mask, right? But there were like certain people who were walking around, probably MAGA people, who were walking around without a mask. And I had went to the yarn department where nobody was. Nobody was in the yarn department. And I felt safe, right? I left the yarn department to go over to the craft area where my husband was. And this tall Caucasian man who did not have a mask on passed me, looked me in the eye, passed me, and then just started coughing up a lung. Listen, listen. This is what I said. Howard, I'm going to the Howard, I'm going to the front. I'm leaving. And I said it real loud. I'm leaving. I can't take it. Somebody's coughing. I can't take it. I'm leaving. Please get this basket. And I left the basket. I could see my husband coming. I left the basket and I booked. I actually left the store and sat outside because my anxiety was so high. You know, it was enough for me to come into the store. But when that dude did that, that sent me over the edge. I was out. Literally. So me going into Joann is a big step. Me going to, you know, hanging out at the thrift store last weekend, that was a big thing. You know, I love thrifting. I love antiquing. I love those things, but I haven't done them really since 2019. So, you know, I'm excited to really be back out here, but I'm very, very, very cautious and aware of my surroundings. I am. All right, then. Well, I need to get out of here. I done held you too long. Thank you for coming into the tiny studio and hanging out with me today. I am going to hang out. I'm going to get in the truck. I think I'm going to have to pick the tiny studio assistant up. She has employment outside of the tiny studio, so I think I have to pick her up today as well. I better call her and find out, or text her and find out. But I am getting ready to get out of here. Today I am wearing some beautiful earrings. As you see, I did not make them. My beautiful, beautiful daughter-in-law to be purchased me. I'm trying to say, I think she purchased maybe about 4 different types of these beautiful earrings. I think they're in gold, and yeah, I think I have two earrings that are in this circular shape, and this is the silver pair. There's a gold pair, and then there's a silver pair, silver leaf pair, and then there's a gold leaf pair. So they are very beautiful. I love these earrings. She knows that. She purchased them for me for my birthday. And the makeup that I am wearing right now, my lipstick, comes courtesy of my beautiful daughter-in-law to be. My son proposed to my beautiful daughter-in-law in Mexico about a week or 2 ago now. It will be it'll be about 2 weeks now. He took her to Mexico. They went to Mexico on her birthday, and he proposed to her in a beautiful beach proposal. So we're all excited here in the tiny studio for my son Kyle and his fiance Janae. And I want to say a special thank you to Janae because she is responsible for the jewelry that I am wearing today, and also my makeup. My lipstick comes courtesy of my future daughter-in-law, Janae. Thank you, Janae. Love you. So I am prepared, and I am heading on out of here and you know what? Maybe I should take you along with me, and when I get to Joann and show you what type of yarn they have. You know, if there's a sale there, and if there's a sale at Hobby Lobby, maybe I'll just film the trip for you. Maybe I will do that. We'll see. All right, then I'm going to get off of here and put my gym shoes on, and I don't think I'm going to be wearing gym shoes. I just bought these Birkenstock sandals. They had the shearling fur on the inside. They're called Papillon Tea or Tea Papillon shoes, sandals, and they're so cute. But it's been so cold here in Florida, so it has a little shearling fur on the inside. So I think I'm gonna wear them. I think I'm gonna wear them because you know I like to be cute, but I want my toesy woesies to be warm. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me get off of here, okay? Let me get off of this line, this YouTube video, and I will see you soon. Remember, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please drop down in the comment section and Let's talk about it. I will see you soon, and I want you to continue to have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye bye.